Excuses are tools of incompetence used to build bridges to nowhere and monuments of nothingness, and those who use them solemnly do anything good. I wasn't expecting my first video back to be about Sonic Frontiers, but here we are. Now, this is kind of an idea I've had brewing for a while now, but the recent trailer that came out just kind of made me feel like I have to do this now. I have to get this out, because otherwise I'm going to implode in repression, because I have no one really to talk about the Sonic stuff with. I have friends to talk about, but they're not Sonic fans, and the people who are Sonic fans that I'm friends with aren't like that close to me. Like, it's a dilemma, so I'm going to be ranting to you guys about this topic, alright? If you've been a part of the Sonic community, then this is kind of a cycle that's been going on for a while now, and it's starting to get really annoying, and I feel like I need to call it out for what it is. But before we get into all that, hi, I'm the LovelessGamer. I haven't uploaded in a while. Hi, you can see back there, I got another computer now, because I'm working from home. Life is getting better. Thank you for all your prayers for those of you who have been praying for me and wishing me the best. So anyway, just to kind of quickly recap my own feelings about the trailer. If you want to see the trailer, there's going to be a link to it below. But just to kind of recap my feelings, I'm just tired, man. I'm really tired. Like, the trailer was fine, I guess. But the problem is, it was just fine. This is a game that they've been saying was good for 5 years. There's articles talking about that we're going to make this game good. That is the high priority, that we're going to make this game good. I don't know why that wasn't a priority for the last 5 games, but we'll let that slide for now. So, of course, I didn't have a lot of expectations, but I expected something polished, especially because we hadn't heard about the game in a year, and they decided now to release something about it. And what we got was largely lifeless. There just wasn't anything there to really grab my attention, outside of like potential story beats. But as far as the gameplay itself, it doesn't make sense. Why does he launch up and then he falls and then he starts running up? What is that? Sorry, it was just basically a running / walking simulation, and it didn't have any sort of momentum to it. It just wasn't that exciting. That said, I think I might still buy it because I'm intrigued about how it will control. And I'm kind of a sucker for open world games. I just am. So naturally, with a trailer like that, it sparked a lot of strong opinions, a lot of controversy. And what happened was, I keep hearing the same things we heard from Sonic Forces, that we heard from Colors Ultimate, we heard from all the other games that have been coming out that have been subpar for the last 5, 7, 8, whatever years. You know, and it's just deja vu, parlez-vous, français, quarter neuf, everything's the same under the sun, that's why we burn it up! Sorry, it just made me think of Deja Vu by Lecrae. It's a really good song, man. The point being is that every time something this subpar comes out, we get the same couple excuses. Really, it boils down to 2 of them, and I'm going to talk about both of them and why I'm sick of hearing it at this point, and we need to stop using these excuses. But before I even get into that, I want to make something perfectly clear, and I mean crystal clear. I do not care for the game. I think the gameplay footage that we got was utterly unacceptable. That said, if you are someone who sees this and it's like, yeah, that's not bad, or I'm actually really excited, I am genuinely happy for you. I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm not trying to like put on a mask. I am happy that you can see something positive out of this where I and some of the others cannot. But one thing we're not going to do on either side is invalidate each other's opinions or take it so far as to dox somebody for that. Seriously, somebody doxed a person because they said that they enjoyed this and they're looking forward to the game. Like, why? Like, I hope anybody who even finds this video or anybody who's interested in liking this video or subscribing is not capable of doing any sort of activity like that. Because that's pathetic. I don't know what else to say. I just gotta be blunt with it. It's pathetic. I think I said it best in a previous video. I'm just gonna show it to you right now. I mean, come on. It's a blue hedgehog fighting an Eggman. It ain't that deep, fam. Please, 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 be civil. If you have disagree with what I have to say, or if you feel like someone else in the comment below is saying something that you disagree with, be respectful. Have a conversation. Maybe you guys can reach an agreement, and even if you don't, it's okay. People will have different opinions, and this is not something that really matters at the end of the day when it comes to like big worldview things, you know? So just be kind, all right? Just be kind. All right, so now that I made sure I made myself clear with that, the first thing I know that has been annoying to me is the excuse of we shouldn't judge this game because it is a trailer. Now, I get it in the sense of like, I cannot just write the game off completely because of a trailer. That's right. If I'm going to critique or do a full analysis of the game, and if I'm going to quintessentially say it's bad, I should probably play the game. Just like with music or with a book, you would generally need to consume the material in order for you to fully grasp and to fully review it, if that makes sense. That said, pointing out the flaws that you see in a trailer is not a bad thing. And to say that this might be indicative of the full game is not a bad thing in and of itself, especially when we're dealing with Sega. We've been through this before, because we said this all the time with Sonic Forces. Literally all the time. I mean, why are you judging Sunset Heights saying that it looks lifeless? This is probably just a part of the level. And even then, it's probably just an early build. I mean, it's gonna be the first stage, maybe. It turns out we were both wrong. That's actually the 15th stage. And that whole segment that they showed was like 75% of the level. It's really baffling how wrong you guys can be sometimes. It's stunning. And I think that's another excuse. I don't think that's even on my list, but that's another excuse that it's an early build. They could change it in the later stages. Like, first off, why would they show us an early build of a game 5 months before it comes out? That's something you say when it's like 2 years down the road, or if it's like 3 years, or even a year down the road. Not when it's just around the corner. Thirdly, if it was an early build, wouldn't they just say that? Why not just say that? That doesn't make any sense, because if you release a gameplay trailer, it's automatically assumed that this is going to be indicative of what the actual game is like. That's the whole point of a trailer, guys. And the real kicker here is that this is not the first time this has happened. This has happened with Sonic Forces, like I said, but it's also happened with Sonic Colors Ultimate. And we all know how great that game was at launch. And again, if you enjoyed it, if you can look past it, that's great, awesome. Good for you, but do not tell anybody that us looking at a trailer is not indicative of the gameplay experience. In some cases, it's actually worse, but it's rarely better. And that leads me to another excuse that we keep using, where it's like, hey, they could just fix it in a day one patch. Like, hey, they could just release a patch later. Why is that acceptable? Why is it acceptable for people to give us unfinished products? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, imagine if you went to go see Endgame, right? Like Endgame, like it's the final being. Oh, and you paid full price for a ticket, only for them to only show you half the movie and the other half basically being unwatchable, full of glitches and errors and cuts. And they're like, oh, don't worry, just pay us another $10 and we'll give you the rest of the movie, even though you paid full price for the ticket. That's not fair. That is not indicative of the final product, and that should never be acceptable. No matter how low our standards are for this company at this point, we should never accept it. We should never accept stuff like that. Because if we don't expect more from these companies, they're not gonna do more. Which I guess leads me to what I think is the biggest offense about all of these excuses. It's the fact that they're treating Sega, Sonic Team, they're treating the people who are making these games like they're new to this. Like the excuses of, well, they're just like, oh, well, it's just starting out. Oh, well, you gotta give it time. We could fix it. This is the stuff I tell to my band students in high school to let them know that they're getting better. You don't tell that to professionals. Professionals who have been doing this for over 20 years. And even though what I said is technically true, it's really 35 if you really think about it. But I digress. Sega has been in the video game business for long. They are a household name. Their net worth, their market cap is over $3 billion. They make a revenue of $2 billion a year. Expect more from them. I'm mainly talking about the executives here, but they are not kids to be coddled. They are professionals that need to be corrected and reprimanded for giving us such a crap product. And it just doesn't make sense to make these kind of excuses for them. And look, even with me saying all of this, there's still a chance the game will be decent or even good. There's a good chance if they refine and, you know, take some of the criticism, if they polish up some of the things that are in the trailer and try to make it pop out more or make it more exciting, or at least make it more clear down the line that there's a certain reward for doing certain things, then yeah, it can turn out to be a good game. I'm not denying that. I don't want to defend being pessimistic for the sake of being pessimistic. But guys, we also can't be blinded by our own optimism. We have to look at it for what it is. They are a multi-billion-dollar company. Whatever they put out is intentional. Yeah, they probably made an oopsie with the Sonic Forces thing, but are you telling me they've been making oopsies for the past 8 years? Is that really what you're going to be telling me right now? Really? At some point, we have to expect more from them. And at some point, we have to stop making excuses for them. Otherwise, we're never going to get games that are better. We're never going to get games that reach our own personal standards. We're never going to get anywhere in life if we keep making excuses and we keep making them feel like, oh, it's okay to put out subpar crap. It's okay to do that because we'll buy it no matter what. You know, like, don't let them pass on this, man. I hate that the pattern has made me feel so jaded about Sonic games now, to the point where I honestly have very little hope and very little faith that they can make this game a good, enjoyable experience. Not good for a Sonic game, actually good. Like, I don't have to feel like I have to go into a forum for 5 hours and defend it. Good. Like, I don't know, man. I'm sick and tired of people constantly making excuses for Sega. I'm just sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of people continuing to make, you know, excuses for Sonic Frontiers and it giving us the gameplay trailer that we got for it. We deserve better. They are adults of a multi-billion-dollar company. Everything they do is intentional. What they show us, we have to assume that's going to be the final product. And while, yes, we cannot fully judge the game without us actually playing it, trailers are supposed to give us an indication about whether or not this is something that we would buy, or whether or not this is something that we should, you know, partake in, if this is going to be good or not. And based on the trailers that I've seen so far, I don't know, man. But yeah, that's about it. I don't normally talk about things that annoy me. I like to make videos about things that I love, like Animanio's Neverland 2 album, which I think is the best Christian album of 2021. Click here if you want to see more about that. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, do other things, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.